I'm Victoria Steele, Executive Director of AOE Arts Council.
I'm Karen Getzinger, Vice President, Board of Directors.
The Arts Council works to build a strong arts community in the Ottawa region and has been very excited with this special Canada and Ontario 150 opportunity to bring 12 of our city's leading professional artists and arts groups together with communities outside the downtown core. This was a way to tell their stories, celebrate, and share what it means to be Canadian in 2017.
Artists and art organizations agree that the arts are vital to a vibrant city. The reality is, though, our communities sometimes don't see and haven't experienced the value of supporting local arts.
De Cumberland à Carpagrilly, nous étions très fiers à offrir des occasions participer aux collectivités hors de centre-ville.
Neighbourhood Arts 150, along with 40 community partners, took the arts out of formal settings such as galleries and theaters and brought the arts and the artists to our communities in places where people live, work, and play.
So the project that we oversaw at Parkdale Food Centre was the Funk Theatre bread making workshop. A lot of people that use our services at Parkdale, they have really interesting backstories. And a lot of people, when they think of bread, they think of like Wonder Bread. We were baking breads from Central Africa and from the Middle East, so it gets people to open up. I mean, a lot of it was about storytelling. We noticed that when the person leading the workshop would talk about their story in terms of the bread or just in terms of themselves, that kind of made people feel more comfortable with opening up themselves.
Le projet de quartier 150. Au RAFO, ce projet nous a permis de prendre contact avec d'autres organismes et qui par la suite nous avons fait une meilleure collaboration avec ces organismes-là. Certains maintenant viennent et comme la pièce de théâtre a été jouée au centre, au RAFO, ces gens-là ont connu notre équipement et viennent maintenant collaborer avec nous et louer notre équipement.
We worked in partnership with Mask and Awesome Arts. They came to our school and offered 3 programs. Our community was going through a little rough spot. We had just been hit with the flooding, so we had quite a few families that were really affected in a negative way, and having us work with Awesome Arts kind of brought us closer together, gave these kids something positive after having lost quite a bit. We have 2 students who did the songwriting who have continued with songwriting and are actually taking singing lessons, which is something that their teachers were shocked at because it's not something these kids would have done.
The role of the organization I work for is to provide access for low-income families to things that they normally wouldn't have access to. So Dandelion Dance really fit a need that our community had for dance programming. They're welcoming of everybody, regardless of their age, ability, income, you name it, they're welcoming. And seeing one of the final performances at Bayshore Mall, that just the smiles that it brought to the families walking through the mall, and it really stopped all the traffic in the area, and everybody was really interested to see what was happening, and the passion that the youth brought to the performance. Everyone is welcome at them, so that there are no barriers to joining the Dandelion Dance Company, and that's just a wonderful asset.
Our project was with Beth McCubbin, and she did the clay tile project. Having seen some of the tiles, I think it promotes conversations. Sometimes they're a bit difficult, but it definitely will provide that. For the younger participants, it's really nice for them to go somewhere and see what they've done and have it, and to sit there and say, I did that. I have to say my favorite group were the group of kids, a youth who came from up north. I think that they were just so grateful to participate, and they had so many great ideas, and it all came out on their tiles.
This was a project run by local artist Claudia Salguero, and she's a visual artist. She wanted to lead the community into doing a mural. The immediate, most powerful thing it did is it allowed a whole bunch of people to meet new people and to, rub shoulders with like-minded people who are big art supporters and lovers of the arts. The old saying, together everyone achieves more. Coaches use it all the time because it's the acronym for the word team. But it's true. And in working with Claudia and various community members, that was just reinforced again and again and again. Together, everyone achieves more.
Hanging behind me is the result of a community art project led by artist Margit Hedek, Wisdom of the Trees. Over the course of about 6 weeks, we brought together about 150 participants in the community of all ages, so from 4 to 84. We have artists here from time to time, but this was different because our staff worked very closely with Margit to plan the workshops, and our children's services staff assisted with a couple of workshops with young children. People love it, and I think that's sort of another special thing that's come out of this is it's been a real conversation piece. It's neat that we were able to find a nice location for it right at the front entrance of our library, and the first few weeks it was hanging, people stopped by and pointed and looked, and they'd say, "Oh, look, this is the piece I made," and might even tell a little bit of the story to that person.
So we worked with the Neighbourhood Arts and the House of Paint on a project called the Hop in the Hood. It benefited the community because it brought the community together, but it also brought a new light, something that we haven't done before. You know, playing with paint brushes and colors and, you know, sprays and just having fun and getting together, and also having the performances and talent show. It brought a lot of good hidden talent of the community out, and also showcases that to the larger community. It continues to be a site for everyone that walks into the neighborhood. So I think that's a really amazing memory of that. But also I remember, you know, around 50 kids taking part in painting that, and so their joy and their experience is certainly something that we all remember and share as well.
Well, having the Odyssey Theatre project come into our community really made something accessible that isn't necessarily otherwise accessible. Arts and culture should be for everyone, and the fact that this project came in and it was completely free to access, and we were able to work at a grassroots level with community members really made it something special. There's a really active group of community members, including adults and children and seniors, that are working to create lasting social change in that area. Having a project like this come in, it brings something really, really special and unique, and it helps complement some of the things that these community members are doing. And the fact is that arts programming is not accessible to everybody. It's far too expensive. You can't get to places where things like this are offered. And having a theatre group come into the community and be able to offer these workshops culminating in a fabulous performance and have it happen in a space that was built by the community to address food security was wonderful.
So for certain there are many memorable experiences that span from this project, but perhaps the most memorable was witnessing and attending the shows. I was amazed by the process and experiencing playback theater in person. Naomi, the facilitator at our program, asked the stories from community members in the audience, and some of the stories, were kind of like just day-to-day stuff. Then she would take that story on the spot and have the youth, or the actors, so to say, reenact people's stories. And you could just see the joy on the audience members' faces when their story was up on stage being presented back to them. And I too had a story told and it was interpreted, and I have to say, seeing your story interpreted has a really validating and heartwarming feeling attached to it.
We had a wonderful experience. Brenda and Sean showed up to my program, and we didn't really know, I didn't really know what to expect, but they immediately made it comfortable, and everybody forgot that the cameras were there, and the stories started to come out. Everybody has a story to tell, and everybody sometimes thinks their story's not that unique or it's not that interesting, but it's when we stop and we listen to each other, we realize either A, we have stuff in common and we can reminisce about it, or we really do have these unique experiences that kind of shaped different people the way they are. So we're hoping to get more books because it's been really popular and everybody wants to get their hands on a copy, and we each only got our own kind of personal copy and then a couple extras. But I think it is something that if we can get some more copies, we would like to use it as a tool to showcase some of our programming and show what we do.
We
were able to provide the Rag and Bone Theatre snippets in 20 of our branches. We invited the MPPs, members of parliament, and some municipal councillors were there. Andrew Leslie was there, and a member of our board, Pamela Sweet. And Pamela actually was involved in the storytelling as well. She was playing one of the characters, and they not just talked, but they also participated in the spectacle. At least 1,000 participants to enjoy the storytelling, the puppetry, and really the children enjoyed themselves, and the parents as well.
Artists and communities worked side by side, getting to know each other and experiencing the creation of an artwork together. As you have just seen, the results of this have been incredibly positive. As an artist myself, this is so encouraging as we look forward to 2018.
Nous voulons atteindre un gros merci à ceux qui ont appuyé ce projet, le gouvernement du Canada, Ontario 150 et tous nos autres partenaires. We look forward to being able to build on this for the future.